Emceed. I'm delighted to be your host this afternoon. Now, about a week ago, I thought maybe we should invert the program, turn on the fountains first, and I would do this from a lounge chair underneath that one down there. But, as it turns out, it's a glorious day. So, Mayor Isaac, distinguished guests, and everyone, welcome to the Courthouse Plaza dedication ceremony. Now, many of you may recall that this process began back in October of 2000, and here we are this afternoon ready to dedicate this beautiful state-of-the-art plaza.
Thank you. This is indeed a very special day in Lexington. This is a day we've been waiting for, the dedication of the Robert F. Stevens Courthouse Plaza. There is a long list of dedicated people responsible for our city's latest landmark, people who took the time to realize this project was significant. I'd like to thank the members of the Courthouse Plaza Design Committee, its chair, Dan Ebner, and Charlie Millward for the endless hours coordinating every aspect of this project. Project designer Lance Decker and George Borelli, along with Judy Construction, provided the creative and construction know-how to make this plaza attractive, functional, and most importantly, within budget. We thank you for that. A special thank you goes to Mr. Tom Templin, who so generously donated the American flag and the flag of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. We are grateful to the family of Judge Stevens and to former Chief Judge Mary C. Noble for her support of this project. The new courthouses, along with the Courthouse Plaza, are very much part of the revitalization that is taking place in downtown Lexington. There are few projects ever done in Fayette County, perhaps none that have had the public input of this project. Public participation was prominent every step of the way. We are very proud that Fayette County citizens can truly call this plaza their own. I believe Judge Stevens would wholeheartedly approve of the public's involvement in the process, and with the plaza being available for public use and public enjoyment. We've gotten several calls already about public art shows and other activities that can be held here most of the year. I encourage all of our citizens to enjoy this plaza because it was built for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Isaac. Well, she's been a fixture in our court system from practicing attorney to serving the Commonwealth on a wide array of legal boards and committees before ascending to the bench. Please welcome the Honorable Mary C. Noble.
Well, there really is something to be said for longevity, and I think that's primarily the reason that I get to speak to you on behalf of the courts today. I've been involved with this project since its inception, and just about where you're sitting, I think, or maybe right around through here, is where the groundbreaking for the beginning of construction began. And at that time, we had very high hopes. It was along about 1999 that within a year or two, we'd be in the courthouses. Well, it took a little longer than that, but it was worth the wait because we came into a very wonderful product. That was a revelation in itself, going through the building of the courthouses. But then we moved on to the land in front of the courthouses, the plaza. One of the most excruciating things I've ever participated in my life has been the planning of this plaza. It was open to a lot of public comment. There were meetings and meetings and meetings held, and frankly, I think that Dan Abner, who chaired this committee, should be elected to something because he's a heck of a statesman. Two of the things that I want to tell you about before I sit down are the two main features of this plaza. They're located at either end of the plaza, and that's the two fountain areas. It's hot today. It's been hotter, but it's hot today. And when you look at water, particularly in a cityscape, it can be very, very refreshing. And maybe you want to run through some of it. And if you want to do that, you'll be able to do it too. Briefly, let me tell you about the two fountains. This plaza, in its entirety, contains about an acre and a half, about 65,000 square feet. It will hold when it is finally completed, and part of the reason it is completed now is due to the complexity of one of these fountains. It will hold between 3,500 and 4,000 people. So this is a large gathering space for downtown. The fountain on Main Street, I call it our Zen fountain because it is very plain, is the world's tallest water ball. It stands about 25 feet. That is the world call it freestanding water wall. It's truly one of a kind. It was conceived by Borelli and Associates, and it weighs about 5,000 pounds. If any of you were driving by when they were constructing it, you know what I mean. It's 25 feet tall and 12 feet wide. It was actually made by a Kentucky artisan group, a group called Artistic Iron Works in Wilder, Kentucky, and they polished on that thing for 4 weeks before they brought it here for installation. It will use recirculated water that will go back and forth into a tank in the ground, which will be treated daily as you would a swimming pool, because the purpose of these fountains in this park, in this plaza, is for interaction. For people, maybe a jogger, somebody mentioned to me, coming down will just segue right through the water wall or Lexington's public shelf down at the lower end, or up at the upper end when we get to the other fountain, which is in fact a world-class fountain containing an outer circle of 24 nozzles, an inner ring of 12 nozzles, and one jet right up the middle, all guided by a computer, all mounted flush with the ground, so that you can turn the fountain off, use the hardscape space for programs and meetings, or turn it on and let the kids play. The water will be checked daily. It will be safe. Don't drink it, but it will be safe for anybody to run through and have a good time. I don't know what to do. I think we will have some very good times in this plaza, and I'm glad to see it nearly finished.
Thanks, Judge Noble. Well, since we're turning the page on a new chapter in Lexington's history today, I think it's only appropriate that we continue with a gentleman who's an authority on the subject, our 3rd District Councilman, Decamp.
Thank you. As a councilman for this district, I served on the Plaza Committee, and let me assure you, it's been a long and arduous task to get to this dedication day of the Courthouse Plaza. It's not been an easy road, and as you might expect when designing by committee, a rather bumpy one. The committee listened to many people and groups of citizens, all who had sincere thoughts on what the final outcome of the plaza might be. Taking all this into consideration and working with our 2 architects, Lance Decker from Florida and Brian Hill of CMW in Lexington, this committee met often and worked hard to come to a consensus as to what would be the best for this large open space in our downtown, which is the center of our city. While doing this, we had always to keep in mind that the project had to come in at budget. We have a great opportunity to have a vibrant and beautiful plaza which will attract our citizens and also visitors to our city. So I ask all of you, come up with ideas for uses, let the city know, and participate in this new and exciting Courthouse Plaza, which we dedicate today. Thank you.
All right, Judge Noble's told you a lot about the fountains. Let's see if they work. Listen, we want to thank the Downtown Lexington Corporation's ambassadors for their performance prior to the opening. This now completes this afternoon's program. Please join us for refreshments and for entertainment provided by the Younger Park Jazz Band. And let's continue our celebration, the first celebration on the new Courthouse Plaza. Thank you all for coming.